morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to signing day. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 here on Wednesday, February 6, 2019. I am Dave Biddle. Very happy to be joined by Bill Bank Greene. Bank, let's start with some good news for the Buckeyes. Looks like offensive tackle Dawand Jones from Indy will sign with Ohio State later today. What do the listeners need to know about the massive Mr. Jones?
He's a project, and I think everyone would agree on that. But if you're going to take a chance and you're going to take a shot on a kid, you take a chance on size. And he is a massive kid. He plays hoops, fairly agile for his size. I mean, when you're going to take a shot, this is the guy you take a shot with, okay? He's so raw as an O-lineman. I mean, this is like you have to be patient with him. The fans have to be patient, and the Ohio State coaches are going to have to be patient. This is a guy that you bring along, with a blanket and a bottle and a pacifier, and you go real slow, okay? You do not put him on. You don't expect him to play next year. You don't put high expectations on him. But the payoff at the end of this, you got a chance here because of the size, the length, the feet, So, and I'm the last guy that likes projects, but everybody takes them. Alabama takes them. Clemson takes them. So if you're going to take one, take somebody this size that you can mold this guy. If he does the work, then you got a chance here. Okay, so I'm good with it.
And I'm not comparing Thayer Munford to Dawand Jones. Thayer Munford was much more polished. He was much less raw. But there's a lot of people that said, oh, Thayer Munford's pretty raw. Thayer Munford's a project. Again, I'm not saying they're the same guy, but look what happened with Thayer Munford. Worked out pretty well so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a great comparison, but, I mean, it kind of is. But Thayer played a lot of football. He played at, Massillon. He played at LaSalle. And Thayer was a football player. This kid, has been a lot of basketball for this kid, where Thayer was football only. But I get it. I see where you're coming from there. Now, I don't think we're going to see Dawand Jones starting as a redshirt freshman at Ohio State, but we might. I mean, who knows? I mean, this kid could go, his progress could really, accelerate quickly. We'll see. We'll see what he can pick up. But I just hate to have people, the guy's not on the field within a year and people label him a bust. Go slow with this guy, okay? This is not Harry Miller in terms of development. But, at that size and with the feet and the frame, you take a shot.
Speaking of another O-line recruit that won't be ready to play for probably 3 years. I mean, maybe Dawand Jones will be ready to play in less than 3 years. We'll see, but probably not for at least 3 years for Dawand Jones, and definitely not for 3 years for Enokk Vimahi, the offensive lineman from Hawaii. I mean, I guess, if the stars aligned, I guess he could play as a true freshman in 2019. Doesn't look like, and then he's going to go on a 2-year Mormon mission. So we're looking at 2020 probably for Enokk Vimahi. But let's put that aside for a minute, Bank. He's going to announce his decision later today. Do you think the Buckeyes are going to land the offensive lineman from Hawaii?
I don't have a source on this that tells me they are. Okay, so the people that I trust a lot in this business, Steve Wilfong, Brandon Huffman, they have put crystal balls in for Vimahi to Ohio State, and that gets my attention. If I was someone that just liked to follow the crowd, that's a heck of a crowd to follow. Those two guys would be, like I said, as a fan sitting at home perusing the internet, I'm going to follow Steve Wilfong and Brandon Huffman. But for me to sit here and say that I've got a source telling me that Ohio State's getting Vimahi, I don't have that right now. But these guys must, and, those guys are Merrill Lynch guys to me. When they speak, you got to listen.
I'm with you on that. I know Steve Wilfong very, very well. I know him personally. Brandon Huffman and I do not know each other personally, but I know of his work, and very well said. I trust those guys immensely. And not to steal your nickname, but if they say it, Bill, you can take it to the bank.
That hurts me, but that's true.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment. You do. I mean, you know me. I wish I could say I gave you the nickname. I love nicknames. And you have a good one, my friend. All right, moving right along. We touched on the good news so far. let's switch gears here to the bad news. Doug Nestor sounds like he's going to sign with Virginia Tech later today. Given that development, losing out on Doug Nestor, plus all the other misses Ohio State's had on the offensive line since Greg Studrawa has been here, I mean, what does this say about Stud? I've been, I'll just say it. I think I'm shocked that Ryan Day kept him as the offensive line coach. I think he could have done better. He should have done better. I loved what Ryan Day did with the defensive staff, Bank, and I love how he just was not messing around. I feel like the one mistake he made was keeping Stud around. But just talk about losing out on Nestor and what this says about Stud. Not just Nestor, but overall with the O-line recruiting, what this says about Stud.
Okay, I'm not a huge fan. Okay, because of the recruiting the past couple of years. Now let's be fair. He's landed some good kids. The numbers are not where they need to be. Do I like Harry Miller? My gosh, he's a monster. Okay, Ryan Jacoby's a guy I really like a lot too. But at this time last year, the names were Dobbs, Trevor Keegan, Darnell Wright. They got nowhere near any of those dudes, So, and then the in-state misses. 4 in-state linemen told Ohio State no. They shouldn't have 4 kids at one position group tell them no in a decade. But Nolan Rumler, Zeke Correll, J.D. Duplain, Nick Samac, tell them no. I mean, that's unheard of. I mean, so I get why Ryan Day didn't get rid of him, the play on the field. I don't think they were real physical running the ball last year, but they got better as the year went on. And they did protect Dwayne Haskins. Got to be fair there. Very good pass protection unit. So I get what Ryan Day's thinking is. I don't think he wanted to flip 50% of the staff. He put his attention into the defense. Ryan Day is an offensive guy. I think he liked what he saw on offense. He put his attention on the defense. I think Stud is going to get the talking to if he hasn't already. And I think he's going to be put on notice. I mean, the same refrain is coming up now that has come up for the past 2 years. Oh, it's okay. We didn't hit on the O-line because we'll clean up next year. Well, he better clean up next year. I cannot believe that he can go through another year like he has the past 2 on the recruiting trail and still be the Ohio State O-line coach a year from today. So I see some good there. I mean, and the guy's had a heck of a career for years, but, he's got to do better recruiting-wise. I mean, the numbers are not where they need to be. Urban has said that for 2 years. And the talent, I like Dawand Jones, but, you'd like it better if Dawand Jones was your 6th guy, which is what they wanted to take this year was 6. So, I think I get what Ryan Day's thinking, but I think Stud better have a big year coming up, or he will be the guy in the crosshairs next year like the defensive guys were this year.
One guy that could really help Stud as far as his recruiting acumen, what people feel about Stud's recruiting, and just the 2019 offensive line in general. I mean, Jonah Jackson, that would be huge for Ohio State. I know you've been all over this. You've been writing stories. I've been commenting on your threads. I mean, this is the one I'm following the most. I know it's short-sighted. I said this on the show Monday. This, to me, would almost make up for losing Doug Nestor. I know short-sighted. It's probably stupid, frankly, but 4 to 5 years of Doug Nestor probably is much better than 1 year of Jonah Jackson. But, man, I'll take bird in the hand. I'll take the guy that I know is a proven Big Ten player and, pardon the pun, but a stud. If they can land Jonah Jackson, that would be huge. Come on, Bank, give me some good news here. What are you hearing about Jonah Jackson?
Okay, I think I've got a pretty good handle on this one. I've got a pretty good source on this one, and I'm feeling good about my info that I posted so far. Ohio State is in it, for sure. Jonah had a great visit last weekend, great official visit. Everything went well. And this kid will go, if we're going to rank O-linemen, he would be 1, 2, 3 in that Ohio State offensive line room if he comes there. Personally, I think he would go to the top, and I think he would be their number 1 lineman. But let's see how that goes. He is a bona fide NFL guy, needs 1 more year of college. Could have jumped to the NFL this year and been a 4th or a 5th or a 3rd. He doesn't want that. And what he really wants to do is he wants to win. He wants to be on a winning team, playing a big-time bowl game, maybe playing a playoff game, and prove himself on that stage. He's already proved himself at Rutgers. I mean, he's an NFL guy. So, what's going to have to happen here is Stud's going to have to out-recruit Oklahoma to get him. He's going to go visit Oklahoma in 2 weeks. He may take a visit this weekend, and I think if he does, it might be Penn State. But from what I'm being told, this is an Ohio State-Oklahoma battle. He's a kid from East, so you have to think if he goes to Ohio State, it'll be easier for friends and family to come watch him play at Ohio State over Oklahoma. That's why I'm really favoring Ohio State in this thing right now. But they're going to have to sweat through this Oklahoma official visit in 2 weeks. They tried to get him to not take that visit. That was a Hail Mary from Ohio State, and they have to do that. But they didn't really think the kid would shut it down after one visit. So I'm very high on the kid as a player, and I'm cautiously optimistic that Ohio State can get him. How's that?
It's pretty good. I like the optimism. I'm holding out hope. They really need to land him. That would be huge for the 2019 team to land Jonah Jackson. It's huge that we've landed Bill Greene. It's been like over a year now since you've been back with us, but it's just it's been a great addition, and you can see why you're such a rock star, why all the people request to have you on the Bucknuts Morning 5 and love reading your stuff. He is, of course, Bill Greene. I appreciate it, my friend, and everybody enjoy signing day. And I know it's not what it used to be, but it's still going to be a lot of fun, hopefully, for the Buckeyes today. So thanks again to Bill Greene, and thanks to all the listeners out there for tuning into the show. I appreciate it. Hope you have a great day. Let's hear that Buckeye swag, best damn band in the land. Swag.